everyone, and welcome back to another VOD review. This time we're going to be looking at the London Spitfire versus the Boston Uprising. London has found a lot of form recently, playing the Reinhardt, going back to their roots, and just rushing people down with some great Symmetra teleporter play. With Sim coming a lot more common in the meta, you've really seen how much better London Spitfire does it than everyone else. Boston Uprising, on the other hand, has just been a star-studded roster throughout the entirety of the season. It did not get blown up, unfortunately, like we were all hoping that it didn't blow up into a ball of fire. They've actually been incredibly successful, and they've been playing very well. So let's see how the Boston Uprising are going to handle this rush style from the London Spitfire, because this match is supposedly a banger. This is another one that I wasn't able to watch because it happened on Sunday. So you'll get a live reaction from me.
They make jokes saying that everyone else is playing off-meta comps. This team genuinely believes that the Reinhardt setup is actually where it's at right now, and even up against like a Junker Queen.
Alright, let's see. So people have been playing like Junker Queen, Orisa, and no one's really come up with a solution of what's really good against this Reinhardt setup. No one's beaten London as of late. That said, no one super strong has been playing against London. Obviously, London just beat down the San Francisco Shock earlier this weekend. Lee J Gon just turbos ahead. Well, let me get my record off the screen. Lee J Gon turbos ahead to get in position, doesn't let his team play together. So Sim TP from the London Spitfire, teleport through. Wow, that was so obvious. I cannot believe that worked. That was like Smurf and Lee J Gon are just waiting for them to come out the door, and they just teleport through the door to the backline and just kind of roll the Boston Uprising. Kind of strange. Jaws was right about Spitfire being Shock's kryptonite. Well, I think it's more about, I think the Shock have done a terrible job this year of adapting and sort of like disrupting other teams' styles. They just kind of do what they want, and it either works or it doesn't. And that's the hard thing, you know, we talk about it all the time of it's hard to prepare against London's style because no one else plays this Reinhardt at the same caliber. Like, look, that was a great dive, and then they just automatically had a TP. TP onto the high ground into a window. Smart play by London. Don't find any picks, which is fortunate for them. What happened to Shock this year? They were so hyped. Their rookies just really struggled. Like, obviously, we were hyping up all their rookies. They have great rookie players, but they just haven't been able to translate that to success in the Overwatch League. Kind of feels like they're beating themselves a lot with a lot of their strategies and compositions. Like, for a great example, Max and Junbin and the way that they've been subbing, I think it's put them both in a situation where neither of them can succeed. Because they're splitting time, they're splitting practice, they're splitting match time, they're coming in cold. It doesn't feel like there's any consistency to what they're doing. The only consistent factor of the San Francisco Shock is that Proper is popping off. But we're not here to talk about the Shock. We're here to talk about Boston Uprising and London Spitfire. London kind of shutting the door on the Boston Uprising. They haven't got anything done. Decay hasn't even got a blade yet. Oh, Lee J Gon went for a feed J Gon moment. Landon goes down. Oh, it's a good shatter though. Are they still gonna win? That's pretty crazy that they can win even though they lost Landon. Who's gonna touch? Oh wait, Hardy actually just got skamazzed. Oh, well, Backbone wins the 1v1. Wait, is Izayaki going to be able to touch? Is anyone going to be able to touch? Lee J Gon? Lee J Gon? Oh my god, that was such a clutch rollout from Lee J Gon. If he fucks up that rollout, they don't get that. Yeah, Lee J Gon has to pop the beat as well, just to be safe. Lee J Gon not inting for once. Well, he did int. And that allowed him to get back to the point fast. You know, yeah, they're good with the bad.
Be able to work with. You're also going to get Backbone's wall, where Izayaki's going to get that amp matrix, but it may not matter, just like the last time.
Charge from Hardy closes the gap. Playing from the low ground. Here is the rest of the Uprising. Also elect to drop down.
Oh, that can't happen. Like, you can't just get TP'd on and die and then Pikachu face. Landon dead again. That could be huge for Boston. Oh my god, Boston have no right winning this fight. Boston should not have won that. They lost their main support, their Baptiste, like off the rip.
So scary, but they don't flip back. Yeah, they don't end up using neither of those ultimates.
London has such good coordination. Yeah, their TPs are better than everyone else. Like, that's just a fact. But
No need to invest the one.
the problem is that they can't really play without the Sim TP. And the big problem with Sim is that she's just not very good in the neutral, right? The TP is really good, but she doesn't do as much damage or get as much value as a Bastion or a Genji, for example, right? Like, Decay Genji is what kept them in that fight right there.
It was some of the most electrifying TP Earthshatter plays we've ever seen.
Dude, if Izzyaki dies again to the same TP, I'm going to be upset.
He's getting close.
Oh, huge fire strike. Yeah, I don't know why Izzyaki isn't, like, standing in a different spot or having someone there. Or, like, maybe Lee Jae Gon should be there to... Why isn't Lee Jae Gon there to, like, boot people or, like, help? You know? Like, that was the second time in a row that the London Spitfire just teleported into Boston's face and just fucking win.
And that Sim TP is impossible to predict.
Why is Izzyaki over Twilight? Maybe they like Izyaki's Baptiste over Twilight's Baptiste.
To do over the course of the whole.
Maybe they think they're both great flex supports. I don't think it's as cut and dry. Like, if Izzyaki came in to play Ana,
Sim TPs.
I would feel more enraged.
Bastion into the mix. Now can't win.
Yes, London have a tendency of getting reverse swept on control maps, is what they're referring to. So keep that in mind.
Does Boston have a history of playing down to their opponents? I think no. I think Boston's been pretty consistent this season. They've definitely had some people push them, but I think Boston's been pretty just good.
Also true.
Like, there aren't too many weaknesses. I think the biggest issue with Boston is I feel like as soon as a team can match them in terms of their mechanics, I feel like their team coordination just isn't as good as other teams. And that's why they lose to teams like Florida, Atlanta, Houston, right? Is it feels like sometimes their strategies are just kind of meh.
His Genji, especially going after that.
They win by just like having great players most of the time. And that's why this Boston matchup, the Boston-London matchup is kind of interesting because London's strat could catch Boston Uprising off guard, right? Like you saw, Izzyaki just got TP'd on twice and died twice. Seems like some better adjustment there, putting their team further back.
I like the idea. I mean, they didn't use that. How to get really low. Looks like he gets split from the rest of the team.
How does the Genji function in the Boston comp? The Genji's really good at executing players, right? So, like, there's a ton of damage. They stick around. The Genji sort of pokes and prods, and then he can dash, and he can get dash resets. He has great deflect against the Bastion. He can sort of, like, kill the Baptiste. The Blade's pretty solid. Why not Tracer? Tracer gets fucking rolled. Tracer doesn't do enough instant... Oh, wow, backbone. Tracer doesn't do enough instant damage that she, like, can, like, exist. She's just gonna keep tickling people, and no one's ever gonna die.
This is the patch for the
And then there's a lamp against Pulse Bomb. There's just like, it just feels hard. It's too easy to stay alive as Tracer, and you're just sort of standing on the outside poking and prodding. How do you counter the London comp? Hey, if there was an answer to that question, then I don't think we would be having as many problems with the London Spitfire.
Great presence of mind. Both teams going to throw down these immortality fields after the matrices come out.
Mirror them? It's absolutely not mirroring them. If you try and mirror the Reinhardt versus London, you're literally playing into their strengths. Unironically play Lifeweaver? I don't know if that's the solution. But yeah, there are many hypothetical ways to deal with it, but the biggest problem is people just, it's just hard to actually execute against what London Spitfire are doing. Houston had a Peligo kill. Yeah, and like usually that's how London Spitfire dies, is they just get fucking rolled in terms of just like a DPS player goes crazy, right? Because the problem with London Spitfire's composition is that you can't really shut down a specific player. You're just sort of playing as a, oh, I think that Smurf could have pushed Landon away and isolated Landon there. Oh, that's a huge Terror Surge. Yeah, like this is kind of what you do, right? You stop London Spitfire from being able to TP speed onto your backline or as anyone. You then just do a ton of damage and you kill them, right? Like that's what you're supposed to do. It's just a lot harder to do than it is to say. Go Weaver, Mercy, Farah. No, it's not Farah Mercy. Farah Mercy is not the solution against London Spitfire's comp. Maybe on certain points on certain maps. Oh no! That was an unfortunate shot. He's just like hovering like a foot above the ground.
For the core of the Uprising lineup, that shatter eventually goes for nothing. Now you're in the doldrums. It's just the Symmetra to play around in a speculative mortar strike from Spawn. And there it is, the prophecy for
Didn't Shock try Pharaoh Mercy? Teams have played Pharaoh Mercy against them, right? Like, even people have tried to play, like, Echo Mercy, and it works to some degree. The problem is that if you don't get value quickly with the Pharaoh Mercy or the Echo Mercy where you're doing a ton of damage or you're finding a pick, then the rest of your team just gets run down and TP'd on. Also, when you play Pharaoh Mercy, your ability to control the objective or the point is very limited.
So maybe they're able to get some more value out of it.
Right?
Decay having a much better
Who was it who tried, was it Alfie?
credited with many
Tried to play Echo Mercy against, oh no, that was against Toronto.
surge. Lee gone
Oh, this was the boop in the Terror Surge. Yo, that was a sick play.
plays the beat activation and he can never get it
Oh,
off.
that is sick.
That was actually such a sick play.
From Lee gone. These two teams now putting their best
I didn't even notice that, Ajax.
We'll be back on the Reinhardt once more. This time Smurf chooses the Queen.
Alright, Queen versus the Rhine. Landon just gets fucking rolled. And that's what the Genji does, right? Like someone asking earlier, what do you do with the Genji? You just run at people, right? Like it allows you to get that aggression, that dash resets, and sort of just like murder.
Wherever you want to be. I thought personally that Smurf was playing Orisa purposely.
Admiral Ajax is 3 times this series? Oh my god, poor Admiral.
He's very strong to block charges and the like. So I would have thought the Queen maybe would struggle a bit against this setup.
Man, poor Ajax, honestly. It's fine.
I feel like the Queen is really good in these like brawl scenarios, and you don't have the damage of this Bastion, right? But if you just wait out the wheels mode, right?
Well, that's a dangerous TP.
Great little
With Lee J Gun lurking around, but that was gets Sparker. Sorry, gets Izzyaki. You take those.
out in the open somewhat as well. No one's ready for this from the back.
Oh, Birdring down.
Wheels
Dude, Sparker Bastion is really just like consistent. And the thing about his right clicks with the, what is the right click even called?
If you allow
What is the
Sparker
right click
that type
called?
of value and playing the Bastion, especially
Bastion Overwatch.
no wheels mode, Sentry mode, where all of that damage is coming from.
It's called
Then this is not going to work out here for Boston.
Tactical Grenade.
Queen just kind of
The Tactical Grenade.
so just
Um,
they're not able to
his Tactical Grenades are really good.
Smurf here allowing the Spitfire to rotate back to the
This fucking nade is what I call it. Yeah, that's fair, honestly.
I'm going to wait that one out. See the Simtar is absolutely everywhere.
That was very early. Window. Oh, what? Izzyaki, no! He must have peeked the corner at the last second as the fire strike comes through the window.
Hardy might have found him with the last tick of it. I'm not sure what happened there. That is devastating.
I think Tactical is a good name for it in my, when my teammates use it.
Matrix to work with, though. You really should be winning this fight.
I mean, that's the difference between this next fight kicking off, you know, at like 28, 29%, almost like an even game, to giving an extra 15, 20% over to London. That's massive.
You can play inside the side room now. You can essentially play
Where's Howdy going? What are you doing?
consummate ease.
Are they going to be able to break? They might be able to break London's wall.
Now with 2 walls being thrown up, Hardy
Oh, early sound barrier. But oh, wow. That was a huge rampage. Hits 5 people. Then the oh my Hardy diff.
You're kidding? From the top rope, Hardy comes in and Decay gets no blade for his troubles. Birdring though.
Oh my god. The fight's not over though.
Needs to salvage with a jump quick.
Or if they can keep Sparker. Ah, they can't keep Sparker alive. Damn, that was such a sick pin from Hardy and it didn't pay off.
Back in the hot seat, but the Spitfire are making it fun.
Yeah, that was an expensive fight. What was that?
At the end, right?
Sound barrier, blade, rampage, a wall as well.
Obviously dropping that down.
London doesn't have a lot. I guess they have the Amp Matrix. They can force positioning with Amp Matrix into a Hardy Earth Shadow.
Takes him out of that for a period of time. They don't have that front
Oh,
end
Sparker kills Izzyaki. Dude, how many times has Izzyaki died first?
again early.
Early picks on the Baptiste have been the story of this game so far. That's where so much of the capture percentage for the Spitfire has originated. Now you're going to have to play slow. Sparker's a little bit low here. There might be an opportunity.
Oh, wow.
Well, the Uprising to get in. I say it, but no. Landon gets brought down by
London got the cap flip there right as well. So now they're at 80%. Lee Jagon, you need to die. Lee Jagon, you need to die. If he gets staggered, that's so bad. Oh, he's going to live.
I mean, Lee J gone able to make it out with his life. I mean, just barely. So, I mean, now you come in here.
All right, Hardy's still holding this Earth Shadow.
Nothing, and you mentioned like.
And no ultimates for Boston Uprising either.
I mean, Hardy's got a shatter. I mean, a massive opportunity here to seal this first map in London's favor.
You have to know there's a potential Amp Matrix to play around once more, but that Sim barrier being up, Matt, that's devastating. You can shatter from behind that and guarantee connection.
Oh, what the fuck?
He'll be moved back. He had no shield available.
Oh, wow, I thought he missed Smurf with that. He was lucky he caught that, actually. Oh, I still get Smurf. Oh, that's such a good wall. Like, what do you do? Hardy's able to just stand here permanently.
The wall, it's almost deterministic at this point. Birdring attempts to throw one up of his own, and Decay looks to dance the wall. He has to go elsewhere.
Oh, Backbone gets Izayaki, yeah. Damn, first map goes to London Spitfire, yeah. Well played. I think that's always going to be a map that London Spitfire is going to be strong at. Control is, like, if London lose control, I think they're in trouble, right? Like, with the way that they play, because I think it doesn't work anywhere near as well on, you know, your escorts and your hybrids, so they get there. I think Boston shows, like, some idea of how they want to do with it, but the big issue that I think they ran into in that map, just in general, is Izayaki dying. Like, how many times did Izayaki... Oh, Lee J gone? How many times did Izayaki die before the fight even started? It's crazy how hard he goes unpunished for a lot of his risky moves. I think you underrate how much his team helps him do that kind of stuff. It's kind of the bumper effect, right? With the Vancouver Titans in 2019 during GOATS. Like, his team is really there, like, posing themselves as threat, and Hardy... That enables Hardy to do crazy shit, but... It's also just, like, great understanding of the limitations of the hero, right? Oh, Backbone just blocked in a really bad spot, but he'll be alright. Interesting. Oh, yeah, they just took too much damage. That was so slow. I don't like the Mei here. Like, that... The Mei sort of... Especially if they're not playing for the wall, I like... Backbone did a lot of damage, but it didn't offer anything, right? So Boston just win... Because Orisa's better than the Reinhardt, and they weren't able to use the value of the Reinhardt because they didn't have a SimTP, right? Maybe it's better for the second and third point, and that's why they want to play the Mei, because I think it will get better, but... Who would you take, Mei, Backbone, or Checkmate? Probably Backbone. I think Backbone's Mei is really good. Checkmate has a good Mei as well, though, right? Like, yeah, you're kind of picking at hairs at this point. Like, it doesn't really matter. Splitting hairs, sorry, is what I wanted to say. Smurf eats Backbone's ult is so bad. They get Izayaki at least, but I don't think it matters. That's gonna be the first half of the second point as well.
Don't even get a use of that blizzard where maybe there's...
Yeah, I agree with that, Captain Ravage. Checkmate's an overall better player, but Backbone is the better Mei.
Look clean thus far. I mean, they have just about everything here going into this next fight, which, you know, may give them that second checkpoint.
Your protocol in that fight entails...
Alright, so London are going to do their under the bridge hold again, where they can put cold from here. Bossa and Uprising are going to have to go in. Oh, or not. That could be a problem. So that's Immortality Field. So now they're able to walk in with Terror Surge or Blade. Backbone dies. I think he's playing on the other side, and they just... Yeah. Oh, God, they're in so much trouble. I don't think I like this strat. It's the second time we've seen London try this. It didn't work against the Shock, and it didn't work against Boston. I feel like, especially if you want to split Backbone off, the other team just, like, picks up Backbone. Like, they just use an ult to keep you in that room. And, like... I just don't think it costs enough for the opposition team to really justify utilizing the trying to slow down the cart. You're better off just holding the high ground, in my opinion. Oh, they get the touch. Blade's kind of mid. Izayaki dead again. There ain't no way that Izayaki keeps dying. Oh, good wall. London's the same thing with the window, hold on New Queen Street, but that one works a lot better. The difference between that one is, and like, you know, it's kind of like the bridge hold and Coliseum, is you're on a high ground. Like, they can't get to you, right? Well, in that small room, they don't need to get to you. Is like, you're kind of in a bad spot because you're caught in this small room, so ultimates are more effective, all those types of things, and they can get into the room whenever they need to, right?
Make no mistake.
Would you rather have Among Ryan or Bumper? Bumper Ryan, 100%. Among Ryan's kind of doo-doo, isn't it?
And potential M Matrix from Izayaki. This is awkward. The wall's going to come up straight away on the enemy side of the M Matrix, which means the wall's going to be very hard to
Yeet!
play. Here's a blizzard. He waited for the spear spin. Smurf going to try and get out of it, but
yeah, he did his job.
And Sparker managed to catch Lee J gone with that bouncing nade.
Wow, I don't know where Izayaki is, but he did a lot of damage.
They stick the landing again. And this is
Wait, Decay, it's time to die.
cycling to some of their support ultimates too.
Okay, London, this is all I think they don't need to do this, like, basement camp. Is like, they can just do this. Like, I feel like it's so hard for Boston Uprising to get on top of them.
Actually close that Blade, right? So, maybe
You take that back. What? Among did have the greatest Ryan game ever. Wait, am I forgetting this Ryan, Among legendary Ryan game? The flu game for Among on Reinhardt? I don't remember this.
Coming up and shatter at that point. So you're in a
When Among Ryan brought Season 2 Titans to map 5, I do not remember that.
That is so terrible. Oh, Birdrick's in trouble. Landon goes, finds Lee Jake on first, though. Birdrick commits to the low ground and Spark.
This is really bad.
Yep, the fortified
Oh, I don't know why Spark could drop there. That was a really bad play.
I think he's on the same page as the rest of the squad. But the Spitfire can still group up around this. No air matrix.
It became a giga chat on the Reinhardt co-stream. Dude, the co-stream, the sideshow co-streams, thing of legends in 2019.
But he is isolated right now. Admiral hoping to help out, and it's going to be an MO just in time, but that'll be brought down.
Oh, Backbone dead.
And Backbone is gone. Hardy goes for the shatter. Smurf didn't have the fortify, but Decay's blade is there, and Backbone falls. Sparker able to find Lee.
Kills Lee J gone with the sound barrier, which could be big, but I don't think it's going to matter.
Seal the deal. The deep
Decay Genji, pretty good.
in equal measure as Sparker succumbs.
I feel like the London Spitfire gave that away.
If Bomba had Shatter, Hunters won. They lost every other fight, yeah. That's fair, that's fair.
He falls. I mean, everything.
Decay Clutch, yeah. And that's what he needs to do as Genji, right? And we expect that from the Decay Genji.
Kind of like, obviously they're gonna wait Boston to get full strength to get back together. You have a real opportunity to win it there.
From the high
Oh my god, the Ajax opportunity from Lee J Gun. Okay, what have we learned about fighting on the point? We all need to learn from this. Oh wow, that's a big pick by Lee J Gun. I don't know how he finds that one pretty much alone. Oh god, Landon kind of botched that.
Meanwhile, Smurf was able to
Lee J Gun, wow, Lee J Gun popped off that fight. That was fucking wild.
no, it's not possible.
That was actually such a sick fight by Lee J Gun.
I mean, they had both supports.
Unkillable, yeah. He had all the attention of both supports. Oh, this is such a brutal stagger as well. Oh, that was really well played by Boston. Holy shit.
You could have helped
That was perfect.
to just getting rolled now here towards the end. I mean, this is brutal here for London.
Fake TP thrown up. No!
Woo! Okay. Yeah, that was great play by Boston. You can't ask for better. Like, they forced the London Spitfire to walk into them.
Chance to recontest properly.
I don't know if I like the May. I think I much prefer to see the Sim. It doesn't feel like London have the ability to like. It feels like Boston are just kiting them out and sort of like playing around them. Prefer to see Backbone just play on the Sim.
Defensive setup where now you're going to run this sim. So let's see if it makes any difference.
Something that obviously Boston.
I feel like there are a lot of uncharacteristic London mistakes, but I think that's also worth remembering. I don't think it's uncharacteristic. I think it's important to remember that it's probably London. It was a forced error, if that makes sense. Because a lot of people like to be like, London Spitfire are untouchable in this Reinhardt. They never make these kind of mistakes. Like, since London started playing the Reinhardt shit, these are the teams that they've beaten. San Francisco Shock, Valiant, Gladiators, Vegas, Valiant again, and then they almost beat Houston, and Houston kind of trolled that match as well. Because it was the last regular season match. But like, London just haven't really played against a lot of good teams that will punish and force mistakes out of them. So I think you don't want to get too ahead of yourself and be like, no one knows how to beat this Reinhardt stuff just yet.
Playing around the fire engine.
Feels like a gatekeeper comp. Yeah, it's kind of like a test for your team of like, do you know how to deal with this level of coordination and this sort of curveball that's getting thrown, right? And that was great play by Boston.
Originally, they were going to TP and then go into wheels mode straight away and just avoid a bunch of that damage. But
Like, I think if Izzyaki had been able to stay alive a little bit longer in some of these fights, Boston would be very ahead in this series.
London, right? They'll come out. They'll try and put down
So London TP's into the room, TP's out of the room. They don't find Izzyaki, so this is really bad for them, right? So if you don't find value with the TPs, then it gets kind of problematic. Dude, Lee J Gon is literally playing Reddit, Lucio, in this setup. And it's honestly not bad. Because he sort of goes in with Decay and he just makes himself a threat that they have to deal with. Because they don't really have the ability to deal with them. And if he can just push Landon around, make it hard for Landon to heal, that's going to have trickle-down effects to the rest of the team of like, Hardy's not going to get as much healing, so maybe he will get punished for going aggressive. Maybe if he can force Sparker to look at him for a little bit, as long as he doesn't die, right? Oh, Backbone just gets fucking got. Why is Izzyaki there? I have no idea why Izzyaki is standing on the top of those stairs.
Charges headlong into a waning mass of Spitfire players. That is 3 consecutive team fight wins, burning the clock down to 1:20.
Yeah, and I mean, you were like, where was
Excuse me,
this
2 minutes.
Boston, right? Yeah, I mean, 1:20 for Boston, but Where was this Boston, you know, for most of map number 1, right? Same composition, just maybe a little bit different in terms of the game. But let's see if they take the TP this time. They do. So this is going to look very reminiscent to that first fight. Both Bastions holding on that sentry form. It's just going to be like Legion.
Custa quickly. Who wins grand finals? Hardy?
Yeah,
Just not looking up? Who wins grand finals? It's so hard to tell. If you're a betting man, or we don't know what the meta's going to be and all that kind of stuff, I'm still putting Atlanta at number 1. I think Atlanta's number 1 to go. I think they have Hawk if it goes to a Xayah meta. I think they pretty much meta-proof in a lot of regards. It's probably just Atlanta. Or Mayhem. I think people are discrediting Houston too much. I think there are definitely metas that could be really bad for Houston, and like, you know, if they end up playing it in a Xayah meta, that could be one. So I understand that, but I don't think you can ever count out Houston Outlaws with the roster that they have. London Spitfire, this is taking them so long to do anything. That's a good TP with a window. But yeah, Boston are doing a great job of mitigating it, right? Like, the credit does need to go to Boston. I don't even think this is just London playing badly. I just think Boston's playing well. Like, they've come in with an idea of how they want to deal with this Reinhardt shit. They're executing on it, and like, it's forcing like London to take like a really long time. They're not catching people as much with some of these movements. Nah, Toronto wins so much it clears. I just don't think Ilari's going to be good in the playoffs. I don't believe Ilari's going to be good in these playoffs. I could be wrong, but I'm not a believer in the Ilari, even still.
To break on through. They just don't give themselves a great opportunity here for this second checkpoint. Not a ton of time.
Was this Boston figuring out the Ryan Rush? I don't think it's figuring it out. I think it's just coming in with a solid game plan. Hardy just trolled so fucking hard. What did I just witness? So Hardy TPs onto the top of the thing and then stands around just like, haha, look at me. And then he gets booped by Lee J God. Then fucking spear spinned into the backline, and then he just dies. Oh my God, that was so bad by Hardy. Making space. Oh, Lee J gone finally getting punished. A bit of feed J gone for you guys. I have the high ground.
Yeah, maybe they kind of communication was they were going to chase a little bit harder because he's the only one who kind of follows that. He wanted it. Yeah, I mean, Lee J-Gon always wants it, though, so you don't know if it was just a Lee J-Gon type.
I feel like it took me this long to realize I'm a Lee J-Gon hater. Not a person, just his playstyle. I think that's a fair assessment. Like, Lee J-Gon plays in a very strange way, and like, because he does some crazy shit, and he pops off sometimes like crazy. And let's not discredit that. You know, he had that moment before where he killed Sparker and then lived to tell the tale and won that fight on his own. But he also feeds, and I think you need to take the good with the bad when you consider Lee J-Gon Lucio. Yeah, I don't really like that TP from London Spitfire. I don't think they went anywhere, right? They just TP'd themselves into the middle of the open, and that just kind of got them got. Oh God, Hardy's gonna get staggered again. You play so well, yeah, like, and that's the thing about Lee J-Gon, right? It's like Lee J-Gon has always been that player that's like, sometimes he does just win the maps. That's why we have a map literally called Lee J-Gon Tower, that we give him that respect. But the worst thing about Lee J-Gon, in my opinion, as a player, is that when it matters, he doesn't know how to stop, you know? And I think the biggest example of that is the 2020 playoffs. Was it 2020 playoffs? Where he just got fucking rolled? 2021 playoffs? No, they won 2021 playoffs. Yeah, I think it was 2020 playoffs, where he just like, San Francisco Shock were punishing him for playing dumb aggressive, and he just didn't stop playing dumb aggressive. He just kept going and kept feeding, and he like actually lost them like 1 or 2 maps in that series. Like, I think it's fine to play aggressive and like, you know, test the limits, but as soon as you start getting punished, you need to be willing to pull back.
2 minutes to finish the map.
And you're gonna get a stagger here on Izayaki. So let's see where you can actually...
Yeah, Oasis 2020 is like, sticks out of my mind. I bet his playstyle works amazing in ranked. Oh yeah, he would like carry games as Lucio in ranked, right? Do you know what happens at the end of this map? No, I have not watched this map at all. I have not watched this series at all.
Still needs to come forward. So for a time, the Spitfire occupy the perch and force the Uprising back around his corner. The shadow, he whips around the corner. It's gonna be
Did he hit anyone with that? I don't know if he did. Dude, Hardy is just having a bad day. Oh my god, he actually hit the pin. Oh no! Smurf, no! Smurf! That's so sad for Smurf. He spent so long trying to kill Hardy, and honestly, Hardy outplayed the fuck out of Smurf.
You just see how much pressure, though, that Orisa puts on the Reinhardt, right? Where he's just getting pushed back with a spear spin. Can't push in because of the fortify. Artillery here. This will be the Boston Uprising, so Bird Ring. Drop this down. Immortality field destroyed.
I think he got what he wanted.
Both sides coming in here. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Early mortality field and Matrix with the Bastion, scary prospect.
Oh, landed dead. Admiral dead. Oh god.
In this game.
See, that's the thing. Boston has done a much better job adjusting to this TPs, where the teleporter comes down and they know the M-Matrix is going to be on the other side, instead of, you know, how they were kind of playing it earlier. This time they had their own M-Matrix, but what they do is they just...
Oh wow, they are so aggressive. I love this play by Boston. Oh, that could have been really bad, but that was... That actually could have been really bad for Boston. That if they didn't kill Landon off the bat and the sound barrier went down before Landon dies...
Backbone on the point, the TP throwing up, but he is a terror surge for your trouble. Admiral will escape from it, almost with his life. The Smurf eventually brings him down, and that is going to be that.
There you go. Yeah, well played by Boston. That was really smart. Yeah, and that's it. Like, Boston are just playing smart, which, when you compare it to the way, and I think this is an important comparison to the way that San Francisco Shock handled it, you can see that, like, there is obviously a stark difference of understanding of how they want to play it. Like, Shock just, like, didn't do anything. They just sort of, like, stood around hoping something would happen, and then London Spitfire just ran rings around them, while Boston is literally responding and forcing London Spitfire into bad situations, and that is why Boston is having so much more success
style, right? Something that not a lot of people can
than the Shock.
So Suravasa is the kind of map where we see a lot of May played at times by these teams. It's always loose.
I think Boston has a good idea how to play around London style and how to force mistakes, yeah.
In the mix, sometimes Ilari to some degree, but it's a map whose sort of favored compositions fits both these teams quite well. It'll be Smurf getting to play the Orisa here with the Decay Genji.
I unconditionally love Suravasa. Wait, really?
A lot of the talk about Flashpoint has been, you know, the necessity for Lucio and speed.
All right, same compositions, backbone on the sim.
On some of these points,
see how they do this.
Sim is even just going to amplify that.
Yeah, 100%. And already the mobility from Lijiang on Decay allows them to take these high ground positions that London can't really match without a TP of their own, which they're not going to waste on something.
Okay, so London want to take the far angle. Boston are happy to stand here. Is this really hard for Decay to do anything here? Whoa, Decay dashed in. Oh, I don't agree with that. All right, he's alive. Yeah, well, Boston get the first cap. Landon will get a fast window, but it looks like Izyaki's keeping pace. Survasa's league's better than New Jug City. I just get lost in New Jug City. I think they went a little too crazy. Oh, Admiral gets the K. That's a big pick. I like New Jug City. Yeah, I think New Jug City is a cool map, but I think it's just a little complicated. I don't really know what I'm looking at every time it happens. Decay fed, yeah. Well, I don't know if it's fed, but yeah, he definitely got punished by Admiral for trying to step up a little bit.
TP to the backside of it, right? That time they TP across, and then once they actually kind of get some of those cooldowns out of Smurf, that's when they decide to drop the matrix. Let's see.
Oh wow, Decay just gets got.
He must have taken some damage from somebody else and just finished off.
The low ground. But again,
it's kind of funny that we've seen like no New Junk City. I guess all teams just prefer this map. Yeah.
Important is just to be kind of holding mouse one all the time. Just hold him one. A lot of the time they try and like reposition and work on the crossfade timing and all that kind of stuff. But you build those sound barriers much quicker with that poke damage. Hey, find kills like that, you're laughing. Oh, Birdering.
Birdering kills Landon just through the window. All right, well, that's a freebie right there. Nice window play. So just the Bapalari play for Boston? Yeah, it seems like they like Izuyaki's Baptiste over Twilight's, which isn't too surprising. I can't think of how much Twilight Baptiste I've seen in the past. What are the odds we actually get an interesting / close finals this time? We have no idea. We don't even know what the meta is, let alone know if we're going to get a close finals. I hope we do, right? Like last time, we had the best finals ever last playoffs. Lee J going, that was a... How did Lee J Gon die? I was reading chat. How does this happen? Lee J Gon? Lee J Gon Oh, he got booped by Admiral in. You can see him through the wall. That's another VJ gone for you.
They get Legion gone, so they can't really escape now. They're kind of stuck.
Yeah, Smurf trying to walk away to fortify here.
I hope Boston goes far. I hope Boston definitely make it to Toronto. I think this team needs to go to Toronto.
Spitfire after capping their point. I think they have an idea where the Orisa is. They have to wait.
Don't think they're gonna push him though.
Oh,
Yeah, you're gonna get one more fight. Look how split they
I
are.
don't think you want to do this.
After their implosion during the season, I'm rooting for him, yeah.
Birdring is
Wait, Bert, they don't know what Hardy doesn't know what Birdring is. Hardy doesn't know how to look up.
here. Birdring can play from that position again. Smurf shrugs off the shadow.
Oh, good. Spear spin by Smurf.
13 to follow it up.
Woo! Decay just waiting at the door for someone to come through and just slices them down.
A screamer of a blade. London had Boston's
Screamer. I like it.
can't cap it back.
That is a
After their implosion during the season, well, I don't even think they ever imploded. I think that was a community-driven narrative that they imploded, you know?
to the high ground and just like gun down Birdring, right? He was up there alone. Like they could have just jumped on the boxes, taken him out, right? Like remove so much damage from the fight, but even still, there's no way for them to get back in towards that point.
Frustrating for the Spitfire. That was a very hotly contested first point on this map. And now the Uprising with the initiative get to set up here for the second. Smurf will play close to the door. Hoping to be clear some of these symptoms.
Oh, Smurf getting low.
In a wheel smoke through the window is scary. Both will pack here for
We thought they would preseason, and they never did, yeah. They literally just never blew. Oh my god. Smurf was just yo-yoing his health back and forth. He eventually does go down, but shouldn't.
calculate. You'll survive
If you lose your tank, it's over. Dude, Lee J Gunn is just in it.
The Matrix is gone at that time. I think what he's trying to do
Oh,
there is
Birdring gets spotted. Oh, no. Oh, that was a bad TP by London. The idea was good. They just didn't kill. I think they underestimated how much healing they had because they still had Izayaki. He had cooldowns. Birdring had wheels mode.
you lose Smurf there.
So I think Boston had the cooldowns to respond to that aggression.
Down is like you said, already those
Hardy died the same time around Smurf. Yeah, but London was still up 4v3, right? Because they lost Decay. But I think they just didn't track the cooldowns very well.
in a row here for the London Spitfire.
Were you and the entire talent crew? I can't speak about the entire talent crew, but I know I'll be there, right?
And sometimes what you also see is, you know, maybe Smurf was going for it there. It's like the Terror Surge not really to get the kills, but to actually get back into Fortify, right? To be able to get some healing there during that.
I think a lot of us will be there. I don't know.
Secondary at that point.
This is a decent response.
Exactly.
The Spitfire plays
Ooh.
semi-predictable.
I'm sure they'll announce it, right?
Instead past it. Birdring, those still can't
Oh,
find
beat.
anything,
Oh,
but
Smurf goes down again.
first instead.
Decay almost has Blade. Is he gonna rip it?
His team standing, but now the
Birdring falls? Nah, I think it's just over.
losing Smurf so early. We'll have to give it up.
Backbone goes brrrr.
Yes, but they do get 99, right? And yeah, they come
Been really impressed with Birdring Bastional. Honestly, this entire year I've been impressed with Birdring. Birdring is like Prophet for me, where it's like every time I'm like, maybe he just doesn't have the passion. Maybe he's washed now. Maybe they're just not that good anymore. They give me the middle finger and they remind me that they're just fucking the goats of Overwatch, right? They'll always pop off, regardless of the heroes. That whatever they need to do, they do it, and they'll always be stepping up.
If you're used to control, then flashpoint points can get away from you awfully fast. It's like double the speed that those tick up at. Decay goes low there. They have an Ant Matrix to
Spark finally figure out how to play Doomfist into Junk Queen Orisa, and the meta might be Xayah. Yeah, well, we don't know yet, right? Like, it hasn't even been confirmed yet, right? Liz, you would know better than I would. I don't think it's been confirmed what patch we're playing on, right?
trying to make something happen at Sparker.
We have like the Kaluge tweet that says like that they're gonna get a Mickey Mouse patch, which makes it feel like Kaluge, but Kaluge also might have just been assuming. Wow, London have actually just like held down this point quite well.
Grenade is Legion is trying to escape, but I don't
It is not, yeah. Like the playoffs is in like 3 weeks, and we haven't announced.
Map fight began ostensibly at like 39% for the Spitfire. You only have so many chances to take these points. It's
Would Birdring be on your Mount Rushmore? He probably isn't on the Mount Rushmore, but he's an honorable mention. You know, he's in the history books, but his face isn't up on the mount. You know.
Point for Symmetra as well, right? Like some.
I think there's too many other people that kind of need to be up there.
Walls that they kind of have to walk past for.
So I want to get one more season. It seems unlikely.
Be pretty good here, you know, advantageous for London's comp.
Spitfire get here first. Decay will try and play around the planter box here, but his turret's all over it. He's going to circumvent those. Birdring going to be knocked out of assault mode because of the shatter, and Smurf doesn't have a chance to fortify. He'll do it now, belatedly. Now going to throw the Terror Surge in. Hardy can barely get away. He's hardly clinging on to life. And Decay finishes the job there with a dash.
Sorry, me Mamsy was messaging me. Mamsy wants to talk to me.
Might give him altitude, but not enough.
What happened? Hardy shattered? London Spitfire get the cab. Okay.
Yeah, and really interesting use of the artillery there by Sparker.
How many Season 1 players still play in the league? Very few, right? Like, very few.
Just drops it right on top of his head. Just goes
It's like, Izuyaki's one of them, Berdering's one of them.
Control this point. This is huge. A little bit of a swing point, right? Whoever wins this goes to map point.
Prophet's one of them. Fearless is one of them. Void, Fate,
Sound barrier up for Lee J gone here.
Smurf. Smurf wasn't in 2018.
Especially when you have to respond quickly to an ant matrix.
Kalios.
Bastion play. Birdring teases now.
Fate-ish. No, Fate 100%.
The reposition out from the backside.
Fate played all of Season 1.
Seen better days.
Was Hawk there Season 1? No.
Down. And the Uprising take cover. Immortality field to keep Smurf in the
Oh, dude. Boston are coming up short right now to this rush.
and decay. But Boston flipped in the meantime.
They got the flip, which is nice to have. Oh, Admiral.
Admiral just served himself up. But Spark
Izzy played Season 1? Yeah. Izzy got signed at the end of Season 1 to the Valiant.
so does Spitfire outlast those first two picks. The Lucio, the Genji. And
Fleta, yeah.
London
But
Spitfire
Fleta's
in the end.
doesn't play anymore. So,
It feels like Sparker's having a tremendous map, but it also feels like Landon as well. Just getting so much value out of these, ant matrices where that time, Boston, they push up forward, they have their sound barrier. It's a nice immortality field.
never forget the flare tank. We did see the flare tank, right? It was the DM support we never saw. The flare tank was there, and it was definitely there.
We'll call it.
I don't know how much more you can say about it other than it was there, but it was.
Got to be kept alive. The sim wall going to help as well. They're trying to stave. Oh, they can't get Smurf out of the picture.
Woo, Decay just slicing and dicing right now.
2 extra kills to his name. Talk about an outsized impact on the fight. The Decay Genji is nasty.
Ajaxington? Wait, he got Ajax? I didn't see that.
Sim wall going to help as well.
Oh, yeah, he did. I didn't even notice that he pressed Q there. Ooh,
The second time this
that is his second Ajax from Admiral, yeah.
where Admiral not able to get the sound barrier off the first time. It was Lee J Gone booping him up into the sky. This time, it is Decay just taking him out. Where I was shocked. Like, you see how low hot he was on Admiral's.
Flare Tank won more games in one half of Split than Mouthful did in 2 years. Flare Tank is the GOAT. I don't know if winning more games than Mouthful is like a bar that puts you into the GOAT conversation.
Now you're in a spot.
I don't think that's how it works. I don't think Mouthful's win-loss record is the floor for the GOAT conversation. Because if so, there's a lot of GOATs of Overwatch League.
Birdring going to spray at it here, covering fire to try and keep heads down. But Backbone was able to find Decay to start the fight. Here comes
Oh, good Terror Surge.
Terror Surge, no one there to see it. Like a bear in the woods, apparently. He'll back up and stave off Backbone.
Oh,
But it's not really enough to keep the rest of the
oh, good beat.
Birdring's going to go for it, though. It's a
Ooh, this is close.
durability in his
This is close. I think, oh my god, Birdering just fucking went.
keep him alive.
Let's go, Birdering. Birdering! Just, that was like a timely wheels mode. Great sound barrier as well by Lee Jagon
Get to use
to give him the health to be able to go aggressive.
not, right? That ends up being kind of what decides that point where Admiral ends up getting taken out by Decay right as he's about to drop that beat that maybe would have kept the Spitfire in it. That time, it's a little bit of a messy start to the fight. Kills back and forth, but
All right, over to, what is this?
gives some help.
Shrine?
to Birdring.
Temple?
He's able to
Temple.
push on forward, get those kills, and put Boston on map point.
What's the setup here for this next fight? Boston, play point. Don't have a lot to work around. The Shatter and the Sim Wall, that's just a very scary prospect to face. Here comes a wall. Hardy trying to send a fire strike. He already has that Shatter built up though. But all of the Uprising playing pretty cannily around that corner. Mortar Strike comes in, forces an early immortality field. That may be critical. Still the Spitfire through that.
Oh, the Shatter. He got like knocked up by the Bastion grenade at the same time. Still hits Birdering.
Birdring is left on his own.
That was a good Shatter.
Now Hardy can work around Smurf. He doesn't really want to spend his time swinging at the
Dude,
Arisa.
Spark. Dude, the Bastion, honestly, both Bastions have played really well this series. I feel like their understanding of like when to go into wheels mode and their abilities with the grenade, the tack grenade, is really good. It's actually been a really good back and forth like matchup. Like you can see Spitfire trying to play their way, but Boston is sort of throwing a few wrenches. Like this is the first time I think we've seen since London really started committing to the Reinhardt that you've seen a team like sort of make London Spitfire feel uncomfortable. Like that's why Admiral's been fucking like, Ajaxing and the team's sort of being forced to make mistakes.
That blade. Dashes in, blade gets brought out straight away. We get
Oh, that's a dangerous dash in by Decay, yeah. Good boot by Admiral.
much done, he's gonna be chased down.
the rest of the follow-up just wasn't there. Dude, look at the TP coordination from this fucking team. They're so good. In the middle of team fights, they have the ability to just sort of like know where to go. Great Terra Surge though from Smurf.
Uprising, hang on. They have a chance to win the map here if they can stick the landing.
Love watching Fleta play, but I know he isn't in the GOAT conversation. Yeah, Fleta's not in the GOAT conversation. He's definitely a great through time, but I don't think he's a GOAT. He won an MVP. In the same way that Leave, I don't think Leave is a GOAT. I think he was great, and he's had his, like, brilliant moments, but... comes down to how big you want to expand your GOAT conversation to. Because, like, I would say both Leave and, like, Fleta, they had those, like, ridiculous seasons, but other than that, they were just really good. They haven't had the consistency of, you know, these other players like Prophet and Lip and stuff like that. Yeah, that's it. Hall of Fame. That's a great way to put it, Axelburn. Fleta would be in the Hall of Fame. He's not a GOAT, though, yeah. Who was Custa's GOAT from the quiz? It's Prophet. Prophet is my GOAT. Oh, that was a fuck up by Backbone. Oh, Backbone. Oh, no, Admiral! Admiral! Oh, that was such a sick Ajax by Smurf. Look at this. Ah! Honestly, you need to rip it. That is such his life. Shawfall made top 32. Shawfall only made the top 32 of my GOAT conversation because, fucking...
I know, always feels like he's going after Admiral and getting him at the right time.
Yeah, I think the Spitfire are having...
Decay has had a really good series so far on the Genji. Alright, over to Esperanza.
Something that Boston, actually now back on topic on this game, have done all through the year.
The Great Bamboozle, bro, I'm gonna say it. The Great Bamboozle was a sick play and it was fun, but people act like it was like the most genius thing to ever be done. You know, it was good. It was fun.
Smurf was so well suited to make that adaptation, and Birdring.
It could never work today. It could work today, right? But like, it was fun, but it was overrated. It was entertaining. That was for sure. Hey, I think it was cool because it happened in the playoffs as well.
Teams have come to strengthen this metagame through very different mechanisms, Matt.
Oh, yeah, you were saying Short4 is only... Sorry, I got distracted by the thing. Short4 was only in my top 32 because he had easy opponents, like, the whole way through. Short4 is a GOAT of, like, a different generation, and he definitely is, like, a huge impact on Overwatch, especially, like, if you followed 2016, 2017, and 2018. But Short4, like, especially considering how long the league's been running, like... He's just he would not be in my top 32 if I made a list.
The one time they lost right on Control, well, there's two rounds, right? But the ones that they lost, they were playing the Junker Queen for a period of time.
That's right. The high ground here, less impactful because no one's bringing a Sojourn into this game. We've seen teams that like force Sojourn.
Are you in your top 32? I think I made it to top 64 in mine. But I also, like, hard trolled it as well, because who did I vote for? Myself over somebody? It was a disingenuous vote. It was a biased vote. Good TP into the backline of Boston. And this is the adaptation that you've seen Boston make, right? In the first map, Boston were getting caught by those kind of TPs, but, like, Izzyaki has repositioned and the rest of the team have been doing... Oh, yeah, I voted myself over Doha. I voted for myself over Doha in the great, in that... 1v1, which, you know, that's a hard one to sell. Oh my god, Birdring, great grenade, hits Landon. That's just a fight win, pretty much.
Well, that's Mellor's Swiss cheese. That's what the Spitfire is. That is 3 kills for Birdring in that fight.
Cuz, would you agree with him saying that Landon is the best BAP in the world? No, I disagree with that. I think that is another classic. He's a great BAP, right? But I think that is a classic case of, like, people think that it's like, do you genuinely believe Hardy is the best Reinhardt in the world, right? Maybe, but the only reason we consider Hardy to be the best is because Hardy's the only one that fucking plays it, because everyone else doesn't play it because it's not good, right? Same thing with Baptiste. Like, I don't think Landon is just the best Baptiste, but he's also played it the most by far in the last season or two, right?
Yes, now London.
And you would have to assume that there would be a better flex. Oh my god, Lee J gone fed. There would be a better bat player out there in the list of great flex supports that we have in this league.
In this fight, but end up losing Lee J-Gun right off the rip. Actually, is it a bigger loss to lose Sparker? It might be.
Possibly. Yeah, especially with Bird.
I think if you want to make the argument that Landon has played the best Baptiste this season, I can get on board with that. I can get on board with Hardy turning this fight around.
Smurf and Nitagon can't intervene. Now it's 2 versus 2. But the bot pushed in Boston's direction. It looks like they're happy enough with that progress. They'll give a bit of space.
Should you make that play, Nirvana, to say Landon is better? Okay, we're going to just keep throwing hot takes out here. I think one of the biggest issues with people who believe players are the best at something are way too narrow-minded when they think about just one play. And that's why there are a lot of people believe Shu is the greatest flex support in the world all the time, is because they just think about those few moments where Shu went absolutely nuclear, right? Like this season when he won that 2v1 against the Gladiators. And, you know, when he had that 4K on Baptiste on Havana. Those are like such unique niche moments that happen in time that doesn't make someone a great player. Yes, it's a great play that can be used, but like people just see the clip and then they make the judgment that they're the best player because of this one clip, right?
Now Izzyaki and Birdring are well and truly out of position. You don't want to be there at all.
Shu is the most clutch flex support player, I would say. I would agree, but there are so many things that go into being a great flex support player.
Does he turret bomb?
Oof! Wow, that did a lot of damage. Why did I feel like that did so much damage?
Yeah, he charges, hits the TP, let's go.
So the best is such a hard thing to declare. It's also subjective, right? You know, it's always the frustrating thing about these MVP conversations or this GOAT quiz thing. It's a subjective thing. There is no right answer of who is the best in a 5-player team-based shooter game that is strategy but also mechanical. Like, there is no true answer. There is no right answer. But people feel like there is.
This position now, but if you can get the bot away from them, you might have had a chance, but very quickly the Spitfire move back into position, hackles raised.
Like the LeBron Jordan debate, exactly, right? Especially when you're talking about people from different generations, right? That's the problem with the Jordan LeBron debate, right? Is you're talking about two players that played at a completely different time, right?
No love there for Decay, no chance to get value out of the blade. That was really just...
There's no right answer, except for Custa is greater than Doha. Obviously, Custa is greater than Doha. That's a fair one.
We're on the move. His first very low. Backbone's able to pick him off here.
They get the lead.
That is crazy. Yeah, they just inched over, and they have a player advantage here. They can keep going.
Oh, Lee J gone. Oh, wow. Dude, London have turned this around pretty heavily.
Checkpoint?
They may get this first checkpoint.
Check?
That would be huge.
That's unreal.
Oh, the bot scratch unlocked.
Okay. Very close fight there. Smurf again. Both
I think Custa was a better Lucio than Dak. Oh, my. You shouldn't have, Toby. Yeah. You shouldn't have. Too generous.
Gotta be careful about how you make use of those. There aren't as many tight chokes to catch people in on this map.
London is okay playing from this position, right? You have Landon up on the high ground with that Ant Matrix. There's no way they can kind of like walk through this choke. And once you get to circumvent this, right? Shatter just gets Lee J gone.
Oh, window from land on the high ground. Yeah, like, what do you do here if you're Boston? You can't fight into this. This is what makes this map just so difficult. It's like, they're standing at the choke, and if they peek, they have a potential to die, but they can't win this fight on the high ground. They also can't dislodge Hardy.
Quickly, if they sped onto him, but it shatters, slows down the speeder. And
Like, their window just feels so much worse, right?
TP to get Hardy back up there.
Oh, it backbone peaked. That was... Backbone, yeah, you can see on his face. That was so stupid, Backbone. Like, they were in a really good position. If he doesn't peek that, he doesn't die. Like, what is he getting out of that peek, right? Like, that little bit of extra damage. Oh, wow, beat engage. Catches Lee J on, who was the beat as well. Decay! Oh, yeah, Decay lives.
Asymmetrical advantage and utility for the Spitfire. They also use that symbol, but they're even in this fight. Now they're getting pressured back. This Ant Matrix has to be a difference maker, but Decay doesn't want to hang around. That eventually is going to be removed. A sim TP
Wow, great pin. Great sound barrier from Lee Jagon. Came back right in time. I think Lee Jagon literally just showed up. Like, the cavalry is literally here. Look at this. He gets pinned. Here comes Lee Jagon. Coming back from spawn. Dun, 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 dun.
Huge
Huge play.
able to stay out of the fight for the first few moments. Now dies
Watching Decay was so weird this series. He did nothing, then did everything. Well, that's kind of how Genji plays against this Reinhardt, right? Like, Genji's not going to find consistent picks outside of his blade, and Decay just needs to be a threat, right? Like, I think it's unlikely that Decay is going to be just, like, filling the kill feed right now, but he needs to be there when they're cleaning up. Because, like, if you're, like, talking about his Genji, how do you kill anyone? If you're Genji, how do you kill anyone on the London Spitfire? Oh my god, that was a good shatter. That was such a huge shatter.
They were too far back. Just the edge of that catches. Murdering Izayaki at least. That is absolutely humongous stuff from Hardy. And it puts the Spitfire now back in a position.
What a shatter, yeah.
To re-extend this lead as Jay Gon got staggered.
Admiral's coming back as well. That was so important for a fight to win for London. Because now they get back on this high ground. Wait, when did Lee J. Gon die? Late. Wait, when did Lee J. Gon die?
They have to run into you, right? You have a boop to knock them back, displacement like
I wasn't even looking at the kill feed. I didn't even notice him.
all things considering, and they
Just like me, lands fatty shatter, then charge into barrier. Yeah, like this is so hard for Boston. Okay. Oh, I thought Izayaki was in a bad spot. It was a stray from Boston bomb, a Bastion bomb. Oh, they're in a bad spot. Yeah. I think the TP broke. They made the teleport and then the TP broke. Well, there you go. Boston getting another lifeline. Great play by Boston as well with using the artillery strike perfectly. Birdering diff? Honestly, Birdering better get MVP for this series so far. Birdering's been absolutely phenomenal. Why did they TP that room? They wanted to have like an off angle. I don't hate it, but yeah, that's the risk that you run into. So now one more fight for Boston. Need to win one more team fight to get through this choke. Honestly, they might not even need to win the team fight. Hardy has to stay close. If you're Boston, I feel like you don't overcommit on this. Because if you overcommit, you end up in this situation, right? I think that was a mistake by Boston. Like, I think they wide peaked a little bit too much. They should have played it slower. They should have kept, like, maybe they're, like, birdering on the high ground, force London to use ults, but give them an opportunity to disengage. Because now, we end up in the air, that old chestnut. Oh, that's such a good stagger. That's such a good stagger. Wait, Izyaki's dead, right? Izyaki's dead, right? Oh, God, he died. Oh, the lamp is... That's such a late stagger. Oh, no.
That might have been a critical mistake for Izayaki.
He might have jumped up around the corner and gotten like hit by it or taken some.
I don't know how he dies to Sparker in that situation. Yeah, that's like 20 meters right there. Yeah, you just chill here if you're... Oh, Hardy's in trouble. He can't get out this door. He's literally just not going to be able to get out this door. Oh, great TP. Bro! Fucking, that was such a sick TP. Oh my god, that was so big brain. Hardy was dead. This is the London Spitfire. We Spitfire! Or however that goes. Decay gets Sparker. Okay. Alright, overtime, baby. It's going to be overtime spawns. London, do they get any forward spawn? Sparker forward spawn? Hardy forward spawn? That's it. So Admiral, Sparker, they're going to go back. Lee J Gun has to go pick up Izayaki. Smurf needs to stop pushing the bot. He needs to slow down this push bot. Yeah, they need to slow this down. They rushed this too fast.
If they know this, they should go now.
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't. Yeah, they do know. Well, that's a huge terror surge. Holy. Decay. All trades. 3v3. Backbone's in trouble. Oh, no. No. So it's Landon, Admiral. We're in overtime spawns as well, so they're so far away and they don't have a healer. They don't have it. Keep Birdering alive. You do not let it. Get him. Oh. Smurf's back. Oh.
Touch it all. Disrupt the shot thrown in. And the Uprising say you could rebuild your legacy from the lower bracket, lads. We're heading on.
That was a crazy end of the map.
For the London London Spitfire.
Honestly, that Smurf Terror Surge was crazy. 5 versus 3 guys, how do you lose? They weren't 5 versus 3. Like, they were close to being, like, together, but honestly, it was Smurf's Terror Surge that did it.
Boston is a very good team as London with some leads on flashpoints, you know, some leads.
Dude, even Boston seemed surprised how they won.
Here on push, they give them away. Boston comes up huge.
And let's not forget, they were, what, 20 meters...
If you look closely, London tries to TP out of it, yeah.
Yes.
When overtime came on. So they win a very close fight and then have a...
Woo! What a series. What a series. That was honestly a great one. Boston looked good. Like, honestly, in this meta, they have a clear understanding. I think it plays to a lot of their strengths. And their coordination playing against the London Spitfire Rush, you can really see there are cracks and there are ways to exploit it if you play well. And even then, Boston just squeaked it out and there were some mistakes. You know, I think Admiral having a couple of Ajax, even though they were forced, it's, you know, some issues showing bits and pieces. But London Spitfire is now a scary team to be in the lower bracket. There is a lot of teams that will not be able to hold up to that scrutiny. Fucking the San Francisco Shock might have to play against the London Spitfire again. I don't know where the bracket is right now. Oh, actually, I'm so smart. Let's see what the bracket looks like after these 2 games that we've VOD reviewed. Oh, actually, no, that's... Whose bracket is this? This is the desk bracket? Don't look at that. That's fucking useless. That's not going to tell you anything. We got Uprising versus Defiant coming up next. And then we have San Francisco Shock taking on the Vancouver Titans coming up. Washington Justice, London Spitfire. Oh, Washington Justice. That's a hard one. That's going to be a hard one for Washington. So we'll see. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like the channel, subscribe. We're getting to the meat and potatoes of the season. Almost at the playoffs. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you all. And I'll see you guys next time.